In the game we are given 3 distinct campaigns, each with its own separate story. The first one is the typical zombie plot where chemicals change citizens of one city into zombies, and as one of the survivors you have to get through several streets in order to get to a helicopter and escape. The second campaign tells the story of what happened after the evacuation of the people. The government selects a prisoner for a special mission. He is to get to a power plant in the middle of the city and then escape. The third one happens before the survivors escape in the helicopter. As a group of zombies occupies the airport, one of the survivors leads the brain eaters off into a supermarket where he makes a stand. This campaign doesn't have any real ending, as it is just a time trial and a survival mode all in one package. Each time you begin the game you are welcomed by a very intuitive launcher which allows you to set your graphics and key bindings. What's notable is the compatibility between several different controllers, so you can use not only a keyboard but also gamepads. The main menu of the game is simple and intuitive. The background changes with each highlighted option. Most noticeable options are the high score list, the achievements and the unlockables. The high scores section is associated with the third campaign that allows players to compete with each other on the boards. The achievements are self-explanatory, while unlockables are used to change some of the game's features. These vary from more casual, like the black and white mode, to more entertaining ones, like the big head mode. One very useful feature is the option that allows you to place your HUD on the screen, so that it fits to your monitor no matter what size it is and doesn't get in the way of the action. The game is stylized after a grindhouse movie, beginning with its first opening screens, introductions for each campaign, followed by an intermission that can happen at a certain point in the game.
It's refreshment time, folks. Time out for a delicious snack in our sparkling refreshment building.
And even one of the endings resembles a real blooper. Also, the game is filtered, which gives you this feel of watching a B-class movie. Great atmospheric rock music plays throughout the game, pumping up the adrenaline as you mow through hordes of zombies, while in the shops you are introduced to a smoother tone that allows you to relax and catch a breath. The animation is not too varied but well made. Zombies have several different looks. Some are somewhat imaginative, although their death animation is mostly similar. They all die with a blow to the head, which changes slightly depending on the type. Still, you can't shoot off a leg or a hand for your amusement factor. You may, however, dismember them to pieces using a grenade or set them on fire with a flare. While you run through the streets, you may come across weather effects like rain. Also, you have a time change mechanics that turns day into night but doesn't affect the zombies in any visible way. Dead Pixels offers you 4 difficulty settings in the first 2 modes, which alter the prices of stuff the amount of zombies and their types that appear in the first few streets, Also, the number of the streets that you must go through varies. The settings, however, do neither change the damage that your weapon does, nor the durability of zombies and their attack damage. At the beginning of Dead Pixels campaign, you are given a short tutorial which tells you all the basic controls. These are quite simple, but not always comfortable, since you browse through normal items using Q and throwable items using E. Selecting stuff while trying to stay alive and moving around to avoid zombies can be tricky, and so it is easier to simply pause the game using the I key, which brings up your inventory and stats window, and select everything manually. The shooting mechanics is not obvious. Since you move the cursor with the mouse, you could assume that you may shoot at different angles, but it doesn't work that way. Instead, you need to face the target to hit it, so you can only shoot straight forward. You can be off-center while your cursor is aimed at a zombie and you simply won't hit it. Your melee attack is also a bit tricky, since you have to be so very close to a zombie that you might get bitten. Along the streets you can go into empty houses to loot for stuff and useful items. The stuff has some worth, so you can sell it to traders met along your path. These appear at random, so you need to always look out for your ammo count, items, and how much you are carrying, which makes this game a very nice survival sim. This is also stressed out by you getting over-encumbered, which causes you to slow down. You should always carefully plan what you want to keep and what to leave, as too much greed will make you end up dead. At traders, you can not only sell stuff and buy items, ammo or weapons, but you can also upgrade the stats that boost your weapon damage, movement speed, health count, etc. Each trader also pays extra for wanted items he looks for at a given time. However, it's pretty hard to find the item a particular trader needs, and it will usually happen by sheer luck. You have to carefully plan how you will play, adapting the game to your game style. You can either run through whole stages avoiding zombies, or you can rely only on guns or melee. There are several possible combinations, and it is unlikely for you to see every weapon and max out every upgrade during a single game. This is very true for the second campaign, where you have to choose one out of several convicts that differ in their stats, which is of great importance because in this mode there are no longer traders who can boost your stats. You can, however, loot homes for ammo and weapons. In addition, you get a phone with a limited number of calls that you can make for a resupply, and then at the next street you pass through there will be a crate for you to pick up. Besides phone, you also get an ink ribbon that allows you to save progress, again because there are no traders where you could normally do it. Dead Pixels is a very intense game, where each street gets harder with the amount of zombies and their overall toughness. However, while it may seem you have a wide variety of enemies, they are all just copies of each other, differing in their looks and durability somewhat. All normal zombies have only one out of two possible attacks, which is either a bite or a puke. Thankfully, there are also exceptional zombies that are blind and will not attack you unless you fire or make too much noise, so they are easy to pass by, but at the same time some of the toughest enemies in the streets. Besides regular zombies, there are also bosses, which are not indicated in any distinct way. They are just very difficult to kill. Sometimes, in order to proceed, you have to kill such a zombie first. Occasionally you can run into a wave of zombies, which is usually indicated by a roar or running animals. These can come from two directions at once, making you completely surrounded. To aid you in your fight, there are several items that you can use in your favor, like the adrenaline that makes you faster, or the fireworks that will distract zombies for a short period of time. One cannot forget about weapons, which are the highlight of this game. Besides your standard shotguns and pistols, you can acquire such means of destruction as chainsaws, Tesla guns, chain guns, rifles, and different kinds of grenades. The third mode is basically a time attack or endurance type of mode in which you fight against stronger and stronger hordes of zombies, with merchants available after each wave of enemies, offering limited resources, so you might cause a merchant to run out of their goods. Dead Pixels is a very challenging game because you have to carefully plan your way through and often change your strategies, since it becomes more difficult the farther you get. You will die a lot in this game, but the adrenaline pumping will keep you going until you finish it. However, if you are a skilled gamer, you will plow through the game quite fast and finish the 2 story campaigns within hours. You may want to play again to collect all the unlockable modes and achievements, but it's only moderately rewarding and the game will become repetitive quickly. Even the scoreboard does not really help to prolong the longevity of this game. There's just not enough meat in Dead Pixels to keep one going for too long. Mostly because of the little real variety of enemies and their attacks. Also, we couldn't help but get a sense of déjà vu while running through the streets, as most of the things quickly become repetitive, and while the game does throw surprises at you sometimes, it isn't really enough. Although we have to admit the game was really fun for the few hours we had spent with it, it's not too long, not too varied, and for some people it will not be too difficult to beat, thus the overall score is 3 out of 5 cubes. It's an okay game, fun to play and not too demanding.
The never-ending tale.